don't believe in Bayt al-Maqdis that was built by Solomon? Astaghfirullah, what kind of shirk is this? You are not on the deen, bro.
What? Everything's astaghfirullah. Are you like, what's wrong with you?
I believe the Quran is Zionist.
Quran is Zionist.
Alhamdulillah.
In what way Quran is Zionist? Oh, is that you? What the hell?
It is me, bro.
I've seen you on YouTube before.
You might be on YouTube, depending what you say next.
That's insane. I've seen you on YouTube before.
Are you Muslim, Christian, Jewish, something else?
I'm Muslim. I'm Muslim, yeah, I'm Muslim.
Assalamu alaikum.
If you have any points you want to talk about, I'm open to talk.
Okay.
Let me hear your point.
I believe the Quran
Obviously,
is Zionist.
Quran is Zionist.
Alhamdulillah.
In what way Quran is Zionist?
Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا قومي ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم. So that says that's Musa sallallahu alaihi wasallam speaking to
but
Bani.
that was ages ago.
But listen
so
to the
Quran,
listen to the words.
ادخلوا الأرض
المقدسة التي كتبا.
That was ages before. God commanded
What does
Banu
Kataba
Israel.
mean? What does it mean?
So God commanded Banu Israel to go to the Ard al-Muqaddasa, the Holy Land, which is like, the Palestine, that bit.
I mean, not Palestine, but yes. And so, yeah.
Before it didn't have the word, it wasn't named Palestine, neither Israel. So
I mean, no, it was when they went in, it was called the Kingdom of Israel.
Who used to live there before?
Who used to live there before? Al-Yahud,
So-
Bani Israel.
Not really, no. If they used to live there before, why Moses took them from?
Oh, you mean like before Bani
Egypt?
Israel? Sorry, I thought you meant before, like today. No, the
Yeah.
Canaan, the 7 nations, Canaan, the Canaanites in English.
So imagine if now, like the Canaanites, like a group of people in let's say in Germany, said we are the Canaanites. Would you accept if they kick you guys
can we
out?
just, before we get there, I just want to come back to this word. What does kataba mean? Because this is everything. You're a believing Muslim.
Huh?
You have yirat shamayim. You have fear of heaven. You have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So
Yes,
I
of
wonder,
course.
what does that? I want to talk Quran. I don't care for secular politics. I don't care. I like
No,
I like
not
religion.
secular politics.
I worship
Not
the
secular
Creator. I worship
politics.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what I want to talk about. Lakum dinakum waliya din. I'm trying to understand. What does the word kataba mean?
Written.
Exactly. When it's used elsewhere in the Quran, what does it mean? It means destined, destiny, fate. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing us into the land, it's from Allah, it's kataba, it's written from God. And if it's explicitly saying that this land is written for Bani Israel, la Palestinian, la...
No, that was okay. That was written before. Things
So wait,
changed.
can you show me in the Quran where Allah has reversed that? You're saying things change. I'm saying show me in the Quran.
In Surah Isra,
Are you going to go وَقُلْنَا بَارِهِ لَبَنِي إِسْرَائِيل أُسْكُنُوا الْأَرْضِ
he said
فَإِذَا
iskunu
جِئْنَا-
al-ard. Listen. He
فَإِذَا
said
جَاءَ-
iskunu al-ard. It's al-ard, which is like not a land. It's the land.
الْأَرْضَ الْمُقَدَّسَةَ أَسْتَغْفِرُ. Look how they twist it. Literally, you have Musa
I'm
saying...
not twisting. I am not twisting nothing. I'm not.
You're
I am
twisting the word of
familiar
Allah
with this-
subhanahu wa
with this
ta'ala.
ayah. It's not in front of me. I mean, if I
It's
can
talking.
read it.
The context of the ayah is the Jews have just left Egypt, and we say after him. So وَقُلْنَا بَادِهِ لَبَنِي إِسْرَائِيل, and we said after him. Who's him in this context? Pharaoh. So the Jews have left Pharaoh, and which land are they told to dwell in? Israel. In Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa. It's literally the text. And what you have today, you have Duat and Shayukh and all these people say, oh no, this is just talking about Jews living the earth. Like, Jews were already living on the earth. What a stupid tafsir. What a dumb interpretation. It's
listen.
literally the chronology is they're in Egypt, they leave, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells them to enter the land that He has assigned for them. He's written for them.
Okay, listen, let me tell you something. So I'm gonna tell you what the Quran says, okay?
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna debate you. I'm just gonna tell you my part of the story, and you can believe whatever you want to believe of it, and
But I'm
you
worried for
don't
your
have to
I'm worried
believe
for
all
your
of it.
akhira, bro. I'm worried you're chasing the
Huh?
dunya. I'm worried for your akhira. You're chasing the dunya. You're trading the word of Allah for modern politics.
There is no politics. In the Quran, God said He commanded Moses to tell Banu Israel, let's go and live in the Holy Land, right?
Yes.
And also in the Quran, they said, no, we're not gonna go in it because
Two didn't though.
two of them,
And
two
then the
of them,
next
they said,
generation, what happened after 40 years?
hmm.
After 40 years, Bani Israel entered the land and
But
lived there for centuries.
then you guys didn't listen to God.
No, what does literally, well, let's go to the ayah. Let's read the Quran. Let's read, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
book. Let's read the Quran. Let's get there.
Mm-hmm.
Quran.com / we're in 5:20 to 20. Okay. And remember, and when Moses said to the people, O my people, remember Allah's favors upon you when he raised prophets from among you, made you sovereign, and gave you what he had never given anyone in this world, the Torah.
That's
Alhamdulillah.
no,
But
that's
now we
not the
continue.
ayah.
O my people, enter the
That's
Holy
not
Land.
the ayah. That's not the
I'm
ayah.
reading, it's the next one down. O my people, enter the Holy Land, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for you. And do not turn back or else you will become losers. Now let's read what happens, because this is the crucial part. Because so in that ayah, I just want to lay out the case. Moses has said that Allah has assigned this land, written this land for Bani Israel. They replied, O Musa, now, O Moses, there is an enormously powerful people there, so we will never enter it until they leave. If they do, then we will enter. By the way, this is exactly what the Torah says. The Torah says exactly the same thing with a lot more detail, but I'll continue.
By the way, why did you guys just
listen,
accept what the guy commanded you? Why did you guys have to negotiate?
So listen, because you're going to understand.
No, let's stop here
I'm
first.
going to educate you.
First.
Inshallah.
No, you're not going to educate me. You're not going to educate me.
We'll see.
Let's talk about the first point.
Two God-fearing men.
Why did you guys didn't accept?
Okay, listen, bro. I'm going to get to all of this. I promise.
I know the verse. I know
But
it,
you don't, because you're misrepresenting it.
What do you mean, Mr.
So let me just continue, and then once I've made my case, you can argue with it. Rather than getting on a tangent saying, why were the Jews rebellious? The Jews were rebellious. That's what the Torah says. That's what the Quran says. We know that. Two God-fearing men, which the Quran doesn't name, but it's Yusha ibn Nun and Caleb, who had been blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said, surprise them through the gate. If you do, you will certainly prevail. Put your trust in Allah if you are truly believers. It continues. They said, O Moses, still, we will never enter as long as they remain there. So go both you and your Lord and fight. We are staying here. Now watch, this is the important part. Moses pleaded, my Lord, I have no control over anyone except myself and my brother. So set us apart from the rebellious people. Allah replied, then this land is forbidden to them for 40 years. During which they will wander through this land. So do not grieve for the rebellious people. After 40 years, what happened? The children of that generation entered the land that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had assigned to them. The only two that merited entering the land were the two men that were mentioned. Yusha in Arabic, Yusha, and I don't know how you say Caleb in Arabic, but Yusha and Caleb, they were the only ones that were alive at the time of Musa, including Musa, that got to enter Al-Ad al-Muqaddasa. And now, this is the point. After the 40 years, they entered the land that Allah had assigned to them. Muslims have this crazy thing that the Jews were rebellious, so they lost the land. It literally says after 40 years they entered, Habibi.
I am not. Listen. I'm not saying. I'm not going to debate that thing. I'm just going to tell you how I interpret those. That the beginning of Surah Al-Isra. So basically, God commanded Banu Israel to go to that land. They said no. Okay. So God told them, 40 years. You guys you're not allowed to live there for 40 years or whatever. Okay. There is another verse. Okay.
Yeah.
Where God said. So the Jews will live in the Holy Land, and they were like corrupted. They were like
And they were
killed
ejected
Christians.
twice.
Then, yes, twice. In the
And that's
second, the first time, some scholars said the first time did happen. Some of them said it didn't happen.
it did
yet.
happen. It was
But
the
you guys-
Babylonian exile and the Roman exile. The Roman exiles just ended. So the first temple, which
you
was built
can
by
say that
Solomon.
there is another
This
scholar.
is literally, you're repeating
there
the
is-
Torah. The Quran is repeating the Torah. It's repeating the Tanakh. We know this. This is Jewish
not
history. The first expulsion was by the Babylonians. And we entered.
No one knows. No one. The first one. No one knows if it happens.
No,
or not.
it
Some
happened.
scholars
The
said
Jews.
It did happen. Let me talk. I'll let you.
Okay,
I'll let you
please.
say your part. So the first part, some scholars said yes, it did happen. Some of them said like it was like Umar ibn Khattab who went and took the keys of Jerusalem. The keys of Jerusalem, whatever. Some of them said it was the Babylonian, whatever. Okay, but there is a second part of the story, which is you guys will live there, and then you guys will do corruption again, and then the Muslims will, like you guys at the end will have like a fight with the Muslims.
Where does it say any of that in the Quran? But answer that question in a minute. It says everything you've just said.
That in the Quran.
The Muslims are going to fight the Jews and kick them out of Ard al-Muqaddasa. Where does it say that?
No, it says
That's what I'm saying. Muslims write their own Quran today.
Not kick. No.
So let me come back. Let me come back to the two exiles. If you speak to any Christian,
let me bring my laptop.
Okay.
Would you give me a second? Bring my laptop or like my Quran so I can read the ayahs.
please, yeah, definitely. That's fair.
But please
I won't skip.
listen. Don't hang up.
I promise I'm not going to. Wallahi, I won't hang up. The gloves are on, lads. It's getting heated. We're going to bring this Muslim back to the straight path, inshallah.
Yeah. You said Surah Isra.
Ma'idah. We're in Ma'idah.
Let's do the Surah Isra first, okay?
Okay.
But by the way, sorry, like my English is not as
Your English is very
yours.
good. Your English is very good.
Isra.
Your tafsir is bad. Your English is perfect.
No, my tafsir is bad. Like everyone has their own interpretation.
I know. I'm just messing, bro. I'm messing with you, bro.
Okay, so وَقُلْنَا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ اسْكُنُوا الْأَرْضَ. First of all, and it says, and we said to children of Israel after Pharaoh, reside in the land.
The land, exactly. Okay. So after Pharaoh, which land? Israel.
So al-ard, yes.
Thank you.
Al-ard mu'arrafa, which is like the land, which is the Holy Land, right?
Yes, perfect. It doesn't say Ard al-Muqaddasa in that ayah? I'm going from memory. I think it just says Al-Ard.
No, it says uskunu. No, it doesn't say muqaddasa. It says uskunu al-ard.
And that's why you said the earth, and I was like, no, not the earth. It's Israel. So we agree now. It's talking about Israel. We agree on that.
Not Israel. It was named Israel.
Not Israel, but the land that was Israel, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. But the Holy Land. So we agree, perfect. So you've conceded that point. We're making good progress. MashaAllah. We're going to have him back on the haq, boys. We're going to have him back on the haq. Inshallah.
What do you mean back on the haq?
Back on the truth. We'll have you on the straight path, inshallah.
But anyways, God asked him to go. They didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then they were forbidden to go there for 40 years.
And then they returned.
And if they keep going, God said, like, they will live there, they will corrupt it, and then, they will some
could you go to a random ayah for me? This is At-Tawbah, and it's ayah 51, and it goes something like Kullan yusibana illa
ma kataba Allah lana.
Exactly, Kataba. So how would you explain this ayah, Kataba, in this context? Because my whole thesis revolves around this word Kataba. Because you seem to think it's temporary and it can just be, it doesn't mean that it's from Allah.
Let me tell you something. Kataba, the word Kataba is like written, what's written can always change.
Does it say anywhere this has changed?
Yes, there
Show
is
me where
a
it's.
story.
Show me
No,
where
no,
it
no, no.
says that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has tore up that decree that the land was assigned to Bani Israel. Where in the
No,
Quran does it
I'm
say
not
that?
talking about. Listen, I'm not talking
Okay.
about. You said like what's Kataba, what's written, can it change?
Okay.
I said yeah.
So
In general, what's written can change. If someone is sick, okay, it's written on him to be sick. So if you do dua, if you pray to God, what's written can change. If, for example, Sayyidina Zakaria, the Prophet Zakaria, he didn't have like he was old. So when you're old, it's written like, it's not written. It's known that you're not going to be able to have kid. وَامْرَأَتِي عَاقِرٌ, and then his wife couldn't have a baby. Why?
but
Why
I
did?
it,
Why? Listen.
okay.
Why does it change? And God like give him a kid.
So this is the thing that frustrates me with a lot of Muslims today. They say Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is perfect.
Mhm.
But then he seems to be in Islam constantly making mistakes based on the tafsir of the Muslim.
How is it a mistake?
Because in the Quran, it says.
If it's a mistake,
Let me
what's the
just
purpose
explain.
of
Let me explain how it's a
purpose
mistake.
of the dua?
You asked the
What's the
question.
purpose?
I'm trying to answer your question.
Go ahead.
So in Al Quran, it says the land was kataba lakum
Mhm.
la bani Israel to Bani Israel, to the children of Israel. The land was written for the children of Israel. Now, I think that I
No,
have
it doesn't
faith.
say kataba. No, it
It
doesn't
does
say
say
kataba.
it does say kataba in Al Ma'idah.
No,
It says
no.
يقوم يدخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم.
Wait.
In
You are
ayah
just
21, ayah 21, it says kataba.
ayah 21. Let me go to the ayah 21.
Inshallah. Reeling him in, guys. We're gonna have him on the haq, inshallah.
What's the other application that you have on?
What's the
Is
other?
it TikTok?
That is mainly YouTube, but TikTok
Ayah
as well.
21.
But
Unzur
this
kayfa.
is a YouTube video. This is a long form video. I can't cut this
So you
into.
said okay. You said that Isra ayah 21,
La
right?
Al Ma'idah 21.
Okay, let's see. Al-Ma'idah. Al-Ma'idah ayah 21. Yes, يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. Yes, here, yes, it talks about the. I thought like you were talking about like another ayah that goes like وكتبنا على بني إسرائيل في الكتاب تجعلنا مرتين or something. I didn't
And
something like this. I'm gonna go back to the story.
and
Yeah,
it's a
yes, it's
perfect.
written. Yeah.
It perfectly describes what I'm saying. So I'm saying that Allah doesn't make mistakes. So what happens in this ayah? It says the land is for you, but if you turn back, you'll become losers. So two of the Jews that were present there didn't turn their back, and they gave an honest report of the land who was living there, and they said, if we have faith in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, we can take the land because it's
Yes,
from
but
Allah. But the
rest of the
people,
Jews,
the
they didn't.
Jews, that according to the Jewish tradition and the Muslim tradition, the children of Israel were scared. And they said, let us die. You should have let us die in the wilderness. We can never enter this land. And they just go on and on. They're terrified. And so what happens? They're punished. What's the punishment? Because they turned their back. They had to wander for 40 years. After that 40 years, the next generation enters the land because the land was kataba lakum, to you, to them. It was assigned to the children of those that rebelled. And that's why from those children sprung Dawood, Suleiman, Ezra, all these incredible prophets.
Not those children. No. It was this. This was written when Moses was alive, not when.
No, sorry, you didn't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying Moses didn't enter the land. The children of Israel, with the exception of two of them, didn't enter the land.
They did not. No,
But their children did enter their land, and their children had children in the land. And from their children's children arose incredible Jewish prophets like Dawood and Suleiman and these giants of Judaism. And the Jews lived there for centuries until they caused corruption and they rebelled against God. And they lost the first temple, which was built by Solomon. And they were exiled to Babylon. And then
That temple is not mentioned in the Quran. The temple.
I know. This is from Jew. This is Beit al-Maqdis. This is from Jew. But most of the things we're discussing aren't mentioned in the Quran. So, for instance, we're talking Bani Israel, but the Quran never says that Israel is Yaqub. But you know that Israel is Yaqub. In fact, almost everything.
The Quran says Israel is Yaqub.
La, where? It does not.
Yes, it says it.
There's one ayah where it talks about someone called Israel in reference to the children of Israel. So you kind of know it's a person, but it never mentions it's Yaqub.
No, it's
show me the ayah. Show me the ayah. This is another thing. Again, bringing the Muslims back to the haq, inshallah.
Okay, let's see.
Similarly, it says we kill lots of prophets, but it doesn't mention any of the prophets. You have to go to the Tanakh to understand who was killed. So I'm saying that the Quran requires the Torah to understand the stories it's telling. But the people at the time of Muhammad would have understood these stories because they were very well known.
Wait. It says there is the ayah. It says كل الطعام كان حلا لبني إسرائيل إلا ما حرمه إسرائيل على نفسه.
Where does it say Yaqub? My Arabic's not perfect, but you never mentioned Yaqub once.
Okay, listen. So Muslims, when they said Banu Israel, who do they refer to? The people who come from who? From Yaqub, right?
I agree, but it doesn't say that anywhere in the Quran.
But you see, you just said you agreed. No, it says in
so
the
Quran. Read it, translating in English. Right? My Arabic is much worse than your English.
All food was lawful to the children of Israel,
and Israel. Exactly. That's exactly the ayah I gave you. I said it mentions Israel and the children, and Allah is forbidden. It doesn't say who it is. You have to rely on the Torah to know that Israel is Yaqub.
It does say that all Muslims agree that Banu Israel are the descent from Yaqub, from Israel.
What's that ayah?
It's Surah Al-Imran, 93.
93.
I didn't know that, like, debating someone who's Jewish is that easy. I'm not even a scholar, or I don't even memorize the whole Quran. But this is like a basic point here. Like, every Muslim, if you ask him who's Banu Israel,
what ayah?
Surah Al-Imran, ayah 93.
93, perfect. So, listen, just for the audience, just so it's really clear. So he's saying that this says Yaqub is Israel. Listen to what it says. All food was lawful for the children of Israel, except for what Israel made unlawful for himself before the Torah was revealed. So, I'm just going to give you some examples of who Israel could be in this instance. All food was lawful for the children of Israel, except for what Ismail made unlawful for himself before the Torah was revealed. Ibrahim. I know it says Israel, but it doesn't say Yaqub. That's my point. It does not say Yaqub. You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
How do you get? So you own it. You can't be this dim. You can't be this slow.
Let me make my point first, and then I will.
Astaghfirullah. Okay.
Every Muslim on earth agrees and accept and know and acknowledge that Yaqub, the name Yaqub, or the Prophet Yaqub, has the second name is Israel.
And they know that because of the Torah. They know that because of my book, not your book. That's what I'm saying. The only reason you know that Yaqub is Israel is because the Torah tells you. The Torah tells you that Israel is Yaqub and Yaqub is Israel.
The Torah tells me. No, the Torah doesn't tell me anything.
Well, it doesn't tell you anything in the Quran.
I'm following it. The Quran said...
Show me where it says Israel is Jacob. You can't say all Muslims know. Show me in the Quran.
Well, there isn't like a clear verse that
That's
said...
my point. That's my point, bro. That's my point.
What? That's a dumb point, then. Like, the Quran...
The point is, the Quran stands on the Torah.
I'm not trying to insult you here. I'm not trying to insult you. It's fine. Or whatever, okay? What I'm saying here, not everything is written in the Quran. For example, how to pray. It's not written in the Quran.
Bro, this is a huge... Who is Bani Israel? Who is
Banu
Israel?
people,
No, I understand. I'm not.
descent
It's a
of
rhetorical
Yaqub.
question. I'm saying these are big
Yeah,
questions, and
yeah.
the reason the Quran, the Quran's fine with this. Muhammad's fine with this. Muhammad says that the Quran says this. It affirms the Torah. It came to affirm the Torah, which is why the Quran says Jews should judge from the Torah. We sent the scripture for the Jews. Why are they coming to you for judgment when they have the Torah? It's literally the Quran says this.
Well,
Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith number 4. Bro, I'm not picking and
It
choosing. Just
doesn't
listen, bro.
confirm. It doesn't confirm
Listen to what
yeah,
I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
The Quran says repeatedly it affirms the Torah. A lot of the detail would have been known by the Muslims that were alive and the pagans that were alive at the time of Muhammad, because these were well-known stories that were spoken by Christians and Jews in the Hijaz. So the Quran doesn't record every detail. So it talks about the children of Israel, but it never mentions who the children of Israel descend from. The only reference is exactly the one you went to, is Imran 93, which is, it says Israel made lawful, that was really, it's with the food from the sea, but it talks about himself. And so it's clearly talking about a person called Israel, but it never even.
No, not a person.
No, it is a person. Literally, I'll read the ayah out for you again. It's talking about a person called Israel. That's what the ayah literally says. All food was lawful for the children of Israel, except what Israel made unlawful for himself.
Okay, who are the first 12 sons of Jacob?
So you need them: Reuben, Joseph, Benjamin, Levi. We don't need to go through them all.
So those are the first generation of Banu Israel.
I agree. But
so
no,
their father was Jacob.
Where does it say?
Israel.
Where does it say that they're Israel?
It doesn't say in the Quran, as I said. Quran doesn't
That's my point. So now you've conceded. So that you've conceded 2 points now.
Told us,
you've conceded 2 points. Just for the audience, you first conceded that al-ard wasn't talking about the earth in general, but al-ard al-muqaddasa in Al-Isra ayah 104, and now you've conceded that when it talks about Israel, it never once mentions that Israel is Yaqub in Al-Quran.
Literally, no. Listen, I didn't confirm anything. I'm not a scholar. When the God
Neither am I.
Al-ard,
You're much more knowledgeable than I am.
Al-ard scholars, I've heard some scholars say Al-ard means earth. It doesn't mean like the Holy Land.
Okay, so now you're contradicting yourself again. So you said
it
meant Al-Muqaddasa, now it doesn't mean Al-Muqaddasa. Bro, you're up and down like a yo-yo.
No, there is no up and down like yo-yo.
There is definitely up and down like a yo-yo here.
I am not a scholar, and I'm talking about the small knowledge that I have. Okay?
Same.
I mean, I don't understand your point. What you're trying to make
so
here.
so I'm trying to bring you to. So I'll be very clear. The Quran depends on the tradition of the Jewish people, the Torah, to understand who certain things are. So, okay. It says in the Quran, the Jews killed many prophets. Name one of them.
I can send you a video of 5 rabbis saying we've killed prophets.
No, I'm from the Quran. Show me, forget rabbis. Show me in the Quran which prophets we killed.
Listen to me, okay. In the Quran, God said some prophets, we've mentioned some prophets and some prophets.
Can you name one of the prophets we've killed? Can you name one?
I don't know, but it says
the reason you can't is because we did not we, but there were bad, evil Jewish kings that put prophets to death, and they will be judged by Allah for doing that.
So the
but
ayah is correct. The ayah is correct.
You don't understand what I'm saying, bro. What I'm saying, I'm not saying whether an ayah is wrong or right. Of course, Israel's Jacob. Of course, there were Jewish leaders that put prophets to death. This is obvious. I'm saying the Quran doesn't have that detail. It relies on the Torah. Pardon?
I said, then if you said, of course, Jacob, Israel, why you were arguing with me then?
Because you're not understanding my argument. So I suggest you listen rather than argue.
Okay, go ahead.
I am saying that the Quran doesn't contain all of the detail. It relies, which it says, it relies on the Torah. it relies on the Tanakh, it relies on the Jewish writings, and for the Christian stuff, it relies on the Injil, it relies on the New Testament, on the to fill in those details. So, for instance, if I were to ask you where was Isa born, what language he spoke, you'd have lots of answers, but none of it is from Islam, it's from Christian sources. If I was to ask you basic questions like, who is Israel? You know who Israel is. You know it's Yaqub, and you're right, it is Yaqub, but you rely on the tradition that came before you to fill in that detail. And that's fine. It's not a bad thing. So what I'm trying to show you is that the Quran depends in certain places on the Torah to fill in the detail. And that's fine because the Quran says it's there to affirm the Torah. It only becomes a problem for you when something in the Torah contradicts something in the Quran. And then as a Muslim, you choose the Quran. As a Jew, I choose the Torah. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about where they agree or where it provides. So how Islam works is if the Quran says something and the Torah says something, all Muslims will say that that's true. If the Quran says nothing and the Torah says something, most Muslims will say that might be true. And usually it is taken as true. So Yaqub being Israel being a great example, because nowhere in Al-Quran does it mention that. And that my point isn't to show you that the Quran's wrong. My point is to show you that the Quran lacks detail. So we're talking about Bani Israel. Who are the children of Israel? We agree. They're the descendants of Yaqub. And you name the first generation with the 12 tribes. By the time we get to Musa, and Musa's talking to Bani Israel, and Pharaoh and Allah's talking after they've left Egypt, this isn't talking about the 12 sons anymore. It's talking about their descendants.
Their
and
descendants, yeah.
So now if we go back to our ayah, so we know, thankfully we've conceded those 2 points.
Let me comment on this before we go back.
Okay, please.
So the first thing, I feel like you just like pick and choose. Okay. So when God said to confirm the old books, it's not like to confirm what's in the corrupt books. It's to confirm that they were like prophets, and we sent them with these books, which is like Torah wal Injil. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is like, if we don't understand something, we don't go back to the Jewish books to kind of explain it. That's not how it works. We either we either ask the prophet, but when the prophet died, the Muslim scholars started like interpreting things. That's
and
how we
did
explain
that based on the
Quran.
Jewish tradition. Literally, read Tabari, read any
Why
place.
is it? How come is it based on the Jewish tradition?
I mean, have you read Al-Tabari or anyone like that? Any of the historians who fill in the details of all the history of the Muslims and the Jewish people, etc. It's all based on the Tanakh. It's all based on the Jewish tradition.
No, it's not based on the Tanakh.
Bro, have you read any of it?
If it's all based on the Tanakh, why there are contradictions between the two books? Why didn't we take everything then?
So, because it's not about taking everything, it's about filling in the details where something's missing. So it says here, for instance, Banu Israel. Who's Israel? Well, Israel, obviously Jacob, and it's obvious to everyone that was alive in the time of Muhammad, because the Christians and the Jews who were living there were going around saying Israel is Jacob. Like, Islam didn't invent the term Banu Israel. In Hebrew, we say Bnei Israel. We say the same thing, Bnei Israel, Bnei Israel.
I know.
So these weren't terms that were foreign to the people that were living there. It was common knowledge, in the same way that if I was to ask you who's the King of England, you'd say King Charles. You don't need a prophet to come and fill that information in. It's common knowledge. And so it was common knowledge to the Muslims that were alive in the Hijaz, the pagans that were alive in the Hijaz, that Israel was Yaqub. It would have also been common knowledge that Jewish leaders, evil kings, did kill prophets. And it would have been common knowledge where Jesus was born, what language he spoke, etc. Because this was common knowledge for Christians who were living in that region. So that's all I'm saying. So we can move on from this, because this is a crazy tangent.
Not really common knowledge. Because like in some bits, like we believe that God told the Prophet Muhammad. Like he didn't get it from people.
I agree with you. I agree. That's what Islam thinks. You think Muhammad is the final messenger, the final prophet. So obviously he's receiving revelation from Jibril, according to Islam. We're having two separate arguments, bro. I'm just saying, for you to
No, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Like there are some holes that you said those holes were filled because of the Jewish traditions. Okay, for example, who's Jacob? Is Yaqub? Is Yaqub? Has the same name as has a second name, which is Israel. You said in the Quran it's not mentioned. but we got it from the Jewish scriptures and the Jewish
And,
traditions,
and
right?
just common knowledge, it was well known that Jacob was Israel. Well known. It's
But
not.
what I'm saying is it's not in the Quran that we got the stuff from the Quran. It's either like from the Jewish tradition or the Christian tradition. We think that it's from God. It's not said nowhere in the Quran that
The Quran
this
does think that
information.
the Jews received the Torah from God.
Yes, they received the Torah from God. What I'm saying is like the Quran doesn't have doesn't get its bits from the Torah. You know what I'm saying here?
It doesn't get its what from the Torah?
Its bits like some informations from the Torah.
No,
It's
that's
separate from the Torah.
I agree. We're saying the same thing. I'm saying the Quran is a separate book to the Torah. At times it agrees with the Torah, at times it contradicts the Torah. But when it comes to information that's missing, the Islamic traditional approach is to go with what was recorded by the Jews or the Christians. If it's Isa, by the Christians. If it's anything before that, by the Jews. That's all I'm saying. So we both agree that Bani Israel is the children of Israel and his descendants. And so now to come back to the ayah. So
yes,
it says, I don't believe that God makes mistakes.
yes. Let's go back to the written. Let's go back to written. You said, right?
Yeah.
Because we were going to talk about written.
Yeah.
So the word written.
And so, as mentioned before, there's which ayah was it? It was. Is it? Kullan yusibana illa ma. Yeah. And so we have the same word, kataba. Nothing befalls us that Allah hasn't written, or nothing will befall us except that which Allah has written for us. And this is exactly the same thing. If Allah writes something, it's a decree. It's permanent. And you're saying really, no, it isn't. You're saying no, it isn't. And I'm saying I agree with you to an extent. So when we're talking about individual providence, so am I going to be ill? I'm ill now. But if people make dua for me, then I can get a refuah, I can get a healing. In Rosh Hashanah, we say that the everything that's going to be decreed for the year is written. We use the exactly same expression, written. This is where Islam gets it. The whole concept of something being written by God comes from us.
Stop with that's where Islam get it. Like Islam.
I mean, but this is what Islam believes. It's a continuation of Judaism. So it's fine.
No, it doesn't say continuation for Judaism.
A continuation of it calls it Islam, but a continuation of the message that was given to Musa.
It's a continuation of that people should believe in one God.
La ilaha illallah. Yeah. So it's different laws. I agree with you. Different laws, different people, different application, but it's a continuation of that monotheistic tradition.
It's monotheistic, yeah.
So we're saying the same thing again, and we're arguing.
Yes.
So. Kind of lost my train of thought. Now, where was I going?
Kataba. We're talking about Kataba.
I know. I'm just trying to remember where I was. Oh, yeah. So the Jews have this tradition of something being written, just as in Islam, and we also have the idea that this decree can be overturned if you give tzedakah, you pray, you do good, etc.
Good deeds and everything. Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about here, because we're talking about Allah writing something for an entire nation. We then witness members of that nation rebelling and losing, exactly as the ayah says, losing the right to enter the land, losing the right to live in the land. And for 40 years they wander until they die, and then their children, except for Yusha and Caleb, their children enter the land, which was written. Now you're saying that there's another ayah which talks about they lost the land twice, which they did. It's 100% true. But nowhere does it say that the land stopped being assigned. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has returned us, lafifa, as one gathering from the four corners of the earth. Pardon?
So, yeah, I know that's in Surah Al-Isra.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying here, I get your point, okay? So the first thing that I want to tell you is the thing about like katabna. Okay, so katabna, as you said, like there are like some bits that they are written, for example, like the judgment day, like that's 100% like it will happen, okay? But there are things that they are written, they will happen, but if we do, dua, all of that, like they will change, okay? So for Banu Israel, if you say it like it's written that they will get the land, why God, like, you know, as I said he will give them the land. Why did they accept to go inside it if it's written?
So this is
So
perfect. So
written doesn't written like
no, you're
I can't
misunderstanding what
change
it
it.
means. You're missing. It's saying that the land is written for Israel, the children of Israel. But if they rebel against Allah, they turn away
No,
from Allah, they lose the land. There's three
wait,
examples where this happens in the Quran. The first example is the generation that doesn't enter. The next example is when there's the first time they caused corruption and they lost the land. The Quran says they were arrogant. We have a slightly different take, but that's fine. So that's when we lost the first temple and we went to Babylon. Then we returned from Babylon because the land was still assigned, and that's how we came back, and we lived there for many years. We built another temple. This was the second temple. And then again, that was destroyed this time by the Romans, and we lost Jerusalem. And the Jews weren't really, I mean, they got into Jerusalem a few times, but Umar ibn al-Khattab brought us back in a larger numbers to Jerusalem in the year 637, because we were out of Jerusalem by this point, because that was the next expulsion. But the Jews actually never left the actual land in its entirety. So during the period where we're supposed to be out of the land, we write incredible works like the Jerusalem Talmud in the north of Israel, the Shulchan Aruch, incredible books, and the rabbis of those books either wrote them or lived in Israel. So what I'm saying is there's these three instances. The first generation that don't get in. The second is when we lost the first temple. The third is when we lost the second temple. But
that's
now
your explanation.
this is my most important part. But because the land is assigned to us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive because He is the all-forgiving, the all-merciful. And there's literal ayat in the Quran that attest to this. And so when the Jews repent and they return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives and brings His children, Banu Israel, back to the land. And once again, we are in the land that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed was for Bani Israel. And this is why the 5 most powerful Arab armies couldn't crush some refugees in 1948. This is why in 2025 we were able to fly freely over the skies of Tehran, taking out nuclear scientists, taking out the entire IRGC leadership, because that's all the will of Allah.
That is doing it. That's a secular country. You said like you
But
don't
it's
defend
the
the
but
secular
it's a
country.
secular.
Now you are
It is.
siding with Israel.
No,
That's the
Allah
first
subhanahu wa
point.
ta'ala is deciding, not me.
So he decides that a secular party,
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has willed.
it's a secular country.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has willed that a secular Jewish nation has defeated every religious Muslim nation that's invaded it. Yes.
Wait, a secular Jewish nation? How that doesn't make any sense.
We're a
It's either
people.
secular or Jew.
No.
Or
So
Jewish.
we're not like you. You're a religion. We're a people. Am Yisrael, Bani Israel. You have Jews that are complete disbelievers and they're still Bani Israel because their parents are Bani Israel. Their mother is Bani Israel. That's how it works.
Okay. All right, just so we can summarize this point. I don't know if you have like more time if you want to discuss other points or no, but just to summarize this one, and then we can move to the other one. So from my perspective, as I said, again, like Kataba, it can change. Yes, that land was promised to you. You guys correct. You didn't want to go inside. God said it's forbidden for you for 40 years, and then you guys, lived in it. Like once you corrupted it, then you guys got kicked out, and then you guys this is like the second part of the prophecy that you guys will live in it again, and then you guys will corrupt and the Muslim will fight you guys, and then you see wujuhakum. I don't know how to translate that. Basically, like we will make your faces look ugly or something like that. You see wujuhakum. That's the literal translation of it. Means to make something bad.
And so the Muslims are going to do that to the Jews?
Yes, you see
It says that in the Quran.
not the Muslims. أرسلنا عبادا لنا ذو بأس شديد وجاسوا خلال الديار كانوا عدم. I don't know the ayah, but let me just check. سوء وجوهكم. Are they? So that's my knowledge regarding that point. The second part of it didn't happen, but it will happen when the Jews will get rich,
So
will
how
have
do you
kids, and then they
explain
will get powerful.
how do you explain the well-established fact that the Jews lost the land twice?
We believe they only like lost it once.
No,
and the second
I'm not talking Islam. I'm talking historically. I'm talking historically.
losing it.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
But you had different centers and different periods of time. If you go to Bavel, you can see when the Jews were living in Bavel. It's how people like Daniel were buried, not in Israel.
Who's Daniel?
He's one of the prophets. He's buried. He's buried in Iran. He's not buried in Israel. So
Where is Moses buried, by the way?
we don't know where Musa's buried deliberately, so no one would ever pray at his grave.
If you guys don't know, how come the Prophet Muhammad knows?
Has Muhammad shown anyone where he's buried?
You just said we like the holes we have in our religion. We fill them from your scriptures and your traditions.
So I don't mean to be offensive. I don't mean to be offensive. But did Muhammad tell anyone where it was?
What do you mean where he was? Yes. He didn't tell no one where he was exactly.
So how do you know he knew?
Huh?
So how do you know he knew? It's like me saying, I know where he's buried. Go tell me where he's buried. And you're like, where? I'm not telling you, bro.
No, he said he was buried in this place. If you guys were with me, I would show you.
But so he didn't show anyone.
Because he used to live.
So you're just taking his word, and that's fine. You obviously you believe this. You're Muslim, but as a non-Muslim, lakum dinakum waliya din. But he didn't show anybody, so why should I believe it? It's like me saying I know what the lottery numbers are going to be this week, but I'm not going to tell you.
So what's the second point? I'm still trying because I have.
Okay. The key thing I'm trying to say here is Kataba never expired. What happens? The ayah is explicit. It says, if you turn back, you become losers. So the first generation became losers. The generation of the first temple became losers. The generation of the second temple became losers. But the third, we're now in the temple that's coming to the third temple.
Because why didn't you guys live in it then?
We did live in it. We lived in it for thousands of years, for over 1,000 years.
No, you said no. You guys, none of you guys enter besides two.
No. Astaghfirullah. I said their children entered. The children of that generation entered. That's how Dawood descends from Bani Israel.
So it was it written,
do Muslims ever even think about this? Think about what you're saying. I hear this so frequently.
You think about.
You're saying that Bani Israel didn't get into the land. Then how did Dawood come to live?
But they didn't go. You said it was written, but they said we're not going to go in.
No, it says if you turn back, you become losers. That first generation turned back, so they became losers. They lost the right to enter the land.
No, it's first generation, second generation.
Why the second generation went in. The second generation went in. It was written. No, read the ayah. Read the ayah. It's literally the ayah. It's black and white.
The ayah. I know the ayah.
Okay, so say it. Say the ayah. يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم. And then how does it continue?
Surah Al-Ma'idah, right?
Ma'idah, ayah 21.
يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم وفتنقلبوا خاسرين. O my people, enter the holy land which Allah has designated for you to enter, and do not turn back, or else you will become losers.
Which is just what I said. So the first generation turned back, and they said, "We're not going in. We don't want to go in. It's scary. No, we don't have trust. We don't have iman. We don't have iman in Allah." And what happened? They lost.
So
what happened to their children?
When was it written?
So listen, I'm explaining it to you, bro. You keep arguing, but if you listen, you'll learn. Because what I'm saying makes perfect sense. What you're saying doesn't. Because what happened was, did Bani Israel enter the land?
After Moses died, yes.
Yeah, after 40 years. So what
After
does that
Moses
mean? It
died,
means
yes.
the land had still been designated, destined, assigned, written for them, yes? Otherwise they wouldn't have entered.
No. What do you mean? Why are you I'm
So
saying
Allah
no,
didn't decree that the Jews, the Bani Israel, would live in the land.
live in it doesn't mean it's written, it's yours.
I mean, that's literally what it says, written. Has written lakum, alati Allahu lakum.
What's your point here? Like we're not gonna achieve nothing here. Like what's
Okay.
your point?
I don't think
I
you're going to
told you, like,
concede. I
what
don't
I
think you're going to
believe.
concede the point, but you've lost the debate, bro.
What do you mean I lost it? I didn't even
Because
win
the
debate.
Jews entered the land, and then when they turned their back again, they lost it. And when they
Yes.
returned,
And there
they
is another
entered.
time.
And when they turned their back, they lost it. And now, alhamdulillah, we've returned, and we're not losing
No,
it
only happened
because we're
once.
becoming
It only
more and
happened
more
once.
religious.
No.
Alhamdulillah.
All the scholars say it only happens once. The second time of the prophecy.
And this is
it
the
didn't
problem. You
happen
follow
once.
the scholars. You take your scholars as gods. Follow Allah subhanahu wa
Why
ta'ala in His
you
Quran.
follow
Don't follow the.
follow your
Don't.
rabbis.
You
follow
I'm going to Quran. You're going to the scholars.
Quran-
I'm running to the Quran. You're running to the
The
scholars.
Quran states we need to follow ulul ilm.
So fine. You follow the
We need to
ulama.
follow the scholars. We
You
need to
follow the
God,
ulama.
the prophet, and then the scholars. It states that in the Quran. So yes,
So you should
I follow the
follow.
scholars.
You'd be wise to read. The scholars can't contradict what the Quran says,
Exactly.
and they
So
are.
yeah. How? In what way?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned the land to the Jews, assigned it to Bani Israel, rewarded them multiple times with entrances into the land, and allowed them to uskunu, to
Not
dwell
multiple
in the
times,
land.
twice.
Perfect. You agree with me. Twice we've
So
been
the
there.
first time
And now this
happened-
is the
so
third
the
time.
first time happened,
This
and
is
you guys
the
were
third
expelled
time.
again.
This is the third
The-
time now. We're
no,
in the third time.
No, it's the second time.
We
It's
left
the
for
second time.
Babylon, came back, we left, kicked out by the Romans, came
listen.
back. Now, today,
Yeah,
alhamdulillah.
Every Muslim scholar said it only happened like once, and the second time it's happening. Why
Bro,
do I need to believe you? It's the third
don't
time.
believe me. Think about what I've said, because this is your akhirah. Don't trade
What do you
the
mean?
akhirah for
My
the dunya.
akhirah-
You're
my
chasing
akhirah
the
has
dunya. You're
nothing-
chasing
my
secular
akhirah has
politics.
nothing to do. My akhirah has nothing to do with Banu Israel. My akhirah has to do
I know it
with
has to do with
praying-
you rejecting the Quran in favor of the ulama.
What did I reject? I didn't
Literally,
reject
I've
the
just
Quran.
took you through it. You're saying, no, the Jews were... Literally, historical record says we went
This,
in,
I
out,
told you
in,
this
out.
is the second time. You believe it's the third time. So lakum dinukum waliya din. You have your own belief and I have mine. Every single scholar said it happened once, and the second part will happen like later in the future.
There's
And you're
literally
trying to
two
force me-
temples that were built. Just because you have some
The
ignorant
two
scholars...
temple things, it's a Jewish thing. I don't believe in it. The temple thing, I don't
You don't
believe
believe
in it.
that
It's your
Bayt
own-
al-Maqdis is part of Islam, bro. Bayt al-Maqdis, look it up.
What do you mean Bayt al-Maqdis?
The Bayt al-Maqdis is the Bayt al-Miqdash. That's the temple.
Are you?
Bayt
We don't
al-Miqdash.
believe in it. We don't believe in it.
You don't
we don't
believe in
believe
Bayt
in it.
al-Maqdis that was built by Solomon? Astaghfirullah, what kind of shirk is this? You are not on the deen,
Are
bro.
you trying to get views now?
No, you are not on the deen. What is this? You just said Bayt al-Maqdis is not part of your tradition.
At the beginning, we used to pray facing
The Bayt al-Maqdis, yeah.
that way. Not Bayt al-Maqdis. No, not Bayt al-Maqdis. Don't try to.
Why
to
was
twist
Quds
things.
called Quds?
I don't know.
From
that.
Bayt al-Maqdis, al-Ad al-Muqaddasa. Astaghfirullah.
Well, everything's astaghfirullah.
Yeah,
Are you
that,
like-
but it's,
what's
bro,
wrong with
it's
you?
hurt my head. Like, I'm an ignorant Jew, and somehow I know, like, certain
Well,
areas of Islam better than you.
you know what-
Like you
you know
said,
what,
Bayt
Mr.
al-Maqdis
Oh.
isn't part of your tradition. Of course it's part of your
No.
tradition.
It's not the temple. What you guys believe that the Babylonian built or whoever.
The
like, built
Babylonians
it.
didn't
We
build it,
don't
they
be-
destroyed it.
So we don't like.
We
whoever,
built it.
Whoever, like, built.
Suleiman built it. That's in your tradition. Suleiman built Bayt al-Maqdis.
No, Suleiman like built, a castle or whatever. That's it. We don't believe that's the temple you're talking about.
Okay,
We
let me just
believe that
close it.
Suleiman, like, he got the jinn working with him and working for him and everything, and then he was powerful, blah blah blah. But we don't believe that the temple that you believe in is Beit al-Maqdis. Not Beit al-Maqdis. It's شنو اسمها ديال ماشي بيت القدس. I forgot the name. Let me just. And I'm not even like a debater, I'm just.
You're doing okay, bro, for a non-debater, trust me.
But I still manage like to defeat 100 points you made.
I'm not sure you did, but we'll let the audience judge. Maybe you did.
Yeah. What?
You go with Bukhari, yeah?
Yeah, Al-Aqsa. So Al-Aqsa Mosque. So Al-Aqsa Mosque was the first place Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam faced when he prayed. It's not the temple. It's not the temple, exactly. So it's Al-Aqsa Mosque. And after that, it was Al-Kaaba. So don't tell me we used to worship a temple.
Bear with me.
My phone gonna die. I'm gonna like charge it. I'm really enjoying this.
I've enjoyed it too. Bear with me.
You said we will split the revenue, right?
Inshallah.
On this
Message me on
video.
Instagram. I'll find a way of getting you the money.
I don't have Instagram. It's
Twitter. You can't message me on YouTube, but
it's full of bad stuff.
yeah, I agree. It is. I can't be bothered to find that. Okay, bro. Anyway, I can't be bothered to find it. No, I can't find it. But it's giving me a bad hadith reference, and I can't find it in Bukhari. But it's 100% in Bukhari. Let me see if I can find it.
As I said, we used to face. Yeah, we used to face Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Aqsa Mosque wasn't built when you faced it.
And we believe that the Prophet went to heaven like from there.
Al-Aqsa wasn't built when Muhammad faced Al-Aqsa.
Who said that?
Who said that? I mean, it was the chronology. When did Muhammad visit Aqsa?
To be honest, I have a small knowledge on
the night journey. The night journey. It was the end of his life.
Yeah, ليلة الإسراء والمعراج. Yes.
Here we go. This is. Unfortunately, I haven't got a source, but I'm just going to read it. I know that's not Bukhari, so you won't go with that. But I'm just going to read this hadith. There's loads of them. When Solomon bin Dawood finished building Bayt al-Maqdis, he asked Allah for three things: judgment that was in harmony with his judgment, a dominion that no one after him would have had, and that no one should come to the mosque. There's so many hadith which attest to this was built by Solomon.
But what's your point here?
That Solomon built Bayt al-Maqdis.
We believe Suleiman. From what I know, I believe Suleiman. I believe Suleiman built a castle, and that's it. That's all what I know.
No,
was it the temple?
He built.
It was like his father.
Bayt al-Maqdis.
Dawood and Suleiman, like they were both like kings.
It even actually, if you go to Khubad al-Sakra, if you go to the Dome on the Rock, it literally says this in Arabic. What I'm saying.
Possibly, but we don't believe we should we had to worship the the temples,
But we don't worship the
as you
temples. We
said.
worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
No. So yeah, what's like? I don't get. What are
The
you trying
temple
to
was
go
the
here?
equivalent of our Kaaba. We go on Hajj there and we'd circle it 7 times on Sukkot.
So wait, you guys have the.
Yeah, that's
You
where you got
guys,
it from, bro. I said everything you
Tawaf.
do is from us. Yeah.
What do you mean? It's
Ours was called Hajj, yours was called Hajj. And on Hajj Sukkot, we would circle counterclockwise the Bayt al-Maqdis 7 times.
that is not true. That
Alhamdulillah.
is not true. Semitic languages sounds the same and are the same. For example, you have zakat, we have
Sorry, what does
sadaqah.
Sadaqah? Yes, we have Sadaqah.
Yeah, that's it.
But bro, what's that got to do with what I'm saying? What's the similarity in language got to do with the fact that
No, you said we got Hajj, the word Hajj from you guys.
no,
I don't
I'm
get
saying
it.
you have Hajj where you go to Mecca, circle the Kaaba 7
Mhm.
times counterclockwise. We have Hajj where we go to Yerushalayim and we circle the Bayt al-Maqdis 7 times counterclockwise, and we were doing it before Islam. Is that not a coincidence?
It's just a
It's
coincidence.
just a Semitic language. Just Semitic language.
No, like the act maybe the act, because like religions are kind of like the old Abrahamic religions share multiple stuff. For example, like fasting. You guys fast, the Christians fast, we fast.
Who was
Right?
fasting first,
For
bro?
example, huh?
Who was fasting first? Who was going on
You
Hajj
guys,
first?
the Jews.
Who was giving
the
Sadaqah
Jews.
first? Who was like all of this?
What?
It was all, so
But
I
that
believe
doesn't
you
mean
copy.
anything.
It means
That
you
does
copied
not.
us.
What? Not necessary. No.
Not necessarily. No.
Why? We didn't copy you at all. Like, why? Then why didn't we copy the other bits?
You copied almost everything, bro. Dietary laws, almost everything in Islam is a copy and paste of Judaism.
If you say so.
I do.
Is that what you believe? It's your belief is baseless.
I mean, it's not baseless. Like, there's stuff that's unique to Islam. There's stuff that's unique to Islam. Like, we don't have Ramadan. You have Ramadan. That's yours. There are things that you do that we don't do, but a lot of Islam is a copy and paste of Judaism. Now, most devout Muslims will say that's because it's a continuation, but you rejected that idea before.
No, it's not continuation. Like
you
guys, we believe so. Listen, we believe some of the Torah is right and some of it is corrupt. Not all of it is corrupt. Okay. So maybe like on the right bits that you guys have in the Torah, we have them in our beliefs as well.
Okay, I think we've done enough anyway. It's like midnight now, so I'm going to say Jazakallah khairan. I've enjoyed our conversation. What's your name? I'm Yusuf.
Your name is Yusuf.
In Hebrew, Yosef, but yeah, Yusuf.
My name is Yusuf as well.
MashaAllah.